Ukrainian Defense Ministry has said that it has not received advance notice of reductions to US arms shipments and said ending Russia's invasion required consistent support. This comes as 9 people were injured in a Russian attack on Ukraine's southern city of Kherson, according to regional governor Alexander Prodkin. Before this, the Pentagon halted some shipments of air defense missiles and other precision munitions to Ukraine over concerns that US stockpiles are too low, according to reports. In a statement, the ministry has said that it had received no official notifications about suspending or changing the delivery schedules for agreed defense assistance. The ministry also said that it is trying to clarify the situation with Washington. Moreover, it underlined that the path to ending the war depends on consistent and united pressure on the aggressor, alongside continued backing for Ukraine's defense needs. The Kremlin, on the other hand, has stated that fewer weapons sent to Ukraine will only bring the conflict closer to an end. Many Ukrainians are reacting with concern to the reported suspension of military aid. Here's some of what they had to say.
Це те, що нам зараз дуже необхідно, адже атаки посилилися і на всі міста, і тому ПВО нам дуже потрібно для того, щоб в плюс-мінус там мирних містах або прифронтових люди знали, що хоча б є якийсь захист. Якщо цього не буде, то буде дуже страшно і ще страшніше, і ще болючіше, і ще більше мирного населення буде страждати. Я дуже сподіваюся, що це тимчасове рішення.
Велика політика і так далі. Пакет Байдена, це призупинений, але не зупинений. Я ж так розумію, там ж теж є якісь закони, згідно яких пакет Байдена має бути одобрений в якісь часові рамки. Тобто це просто призупинення, моя думка.
We're now joined by Gilbert Doctorow, who's a Russian affairs expert, and he joins us live from Brussels, Belgium. Gilbert, thank you very much for joining us on the programme. What are your thoughts on Washington reportedly suspending arms shipments, and how will they affect Ukraine's position on the battlefield in its strategy to push back Russian forces?
Strategy of pushing back Russian forces, I think that is an exaggeration of their ambition. At this moment, they'll be lucky to prevent a collapse of their front. We are talking now about the American withdrawal of equipment for air defense that it took to the Middle East to protect its own bases in the Gulf states. This is at the start of the 12-day Israeli-Iran war. And the notion that Mr. Zelensky was promoting in his brief encounter with Donald Trump in The Hague at the NATO summit last week, the notion that America would send more Patriots, which would be purchased on Ukraine's behalf by Europe using European money, that notion is utterly unrealistic. The fact is that the American Patriots will remain in American hands, and because they really are in short supply. Nonetheless, that will make no difference in the conduct of the war. The Russian hypersonic missiles and other devices that they're sending into Ukraine are unstoppable. The Patriots themselves are destroyed systematically by Russian missiles. Therefore, the Ukrainians are much more dependent on something else. That is the 155 millimeter artillery shells, which the United States probably also has stopped sending to Ukraine, while it's hoarding them to rebuild its own arsenal, since that arsenal was dangerously depleted in prior Biden-era supplies sent to Ukraine. So the situation from the standpoint of Ukraine is really much worse than it was before the Iran-Israel war.
Gilbert, thank you. You are staying with us as we move on